You read the title and thumbnail right. After 6 years on YouTube, I have 811 subs at the time I'm making this video. So in this video, we will talk about my analytics. We will take a deep dive. And how and why did I start this channel? What's my niche? What did it start as? What did it evolve into? Why I think I haven't monetized yet. And I'll also talk about how YouTube changed my life and will I keep going with it? Why did I start this channel? This channel started as an ESL channel when I started with VIP Kid, GoGo Kid, teaching online. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos to help me get started. And a lot of people were doing YouTube channels. And I kind of always wanted to do a YouTube channel. I started off in video production. I kind of like to be on camera. I used to want to be like an actor when I was a kid. And I actually, in school as well, I wanted to do news and be in front of the camera, but then you end up, there's more jobs being behind the camera. So I ended up doing that. Anyways, so then I saw all these people on YouTube. I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that too. So this is my channel. If you go to it, I'm looking at it, as a viewer, but videos, live streams, and shorts, and I have playlists. So let's look at some of my old videos. I'm going to go to videos. Let's go to oldest. Obviously, I knew nothing about thumbnails when I first started. So as you can see, all of these videos. And what I would do is I would just do it all the way through. Like if I would mess up, of course, I'd redo it. But I would just do it all the way through and then upload that. And even though I come from a video background, I always did live TV when I did a video background. And I didn't have a lot of time for editing either because I had young kids at the time. So, I just would say something and then post it. My intro video, I guess, because it's what people see when they come to your channel, was one of my best ones. But as you can see, no thumbnails. And until about 1 year in. Oh, and by the way, you're going to say, I thought you've been on YouTube for 6 years and these videos say 5 years. In 1 week, it'll change to 6 years. So it's been 6 years. All right, let's go to my live streams and go to my oldest. So my very first one, if you want to go back and watch it after you watch this, I was visibly nervous, but after only one time, I pretty much got over my nervousness. And the way that the live stream started is we had a group of friends who would go live. Actually, my friend Danny started it first, would go live after we taught our classes at VIP Kid, and then we're doing feedback and would just talk. And working online is very isolating, it's hard to make friends. So that's kind of how we made friends. Each of us took a different day of the week that we were going live, and it became like a community. We took turns going to each other's live streams, and I would just have a topic and I would talk about that. And then there was someone who was reading the VIP Kid weekly reports, and one time, I didn't have time to read it, so I started watching her. But then I noticed nobody was doing it for GoGo Kid. So I eventually started, here's one of the first ones where I was doing a GoGo Kid weekly report. I started just reading the GoGo Kid weekly report, but I didn't do VIP Kid because somebody else was already doing that. And then I think when she stopped, I started doing it. I didn't know anything about streaming services like StreamYard like I'm doing now. So I didn't know how to share a screen. I literally would just read it. And for a time too, I got so busy that I didn't even have time to put out regular videos. That's all I was doing, was going live once a week to talk to people. So, you're not really going to grow a channel if you're just going live. It did build a good sense of community and everything, which I think live streams are good for. Let's look at some of my most popular videos. Okay, so the first one was certifying for free tuck at VIP Kid. This was very early on, 5 years ago. The only thing I could think of is that nobody else was doing videos about that. And a lot of people were searching for it because it got 1.4K views like very early on, very quickly. And I have not been able to replicate that kind of viewership since. So the next two, the how to get a provisional license and how I passed the ESL praxis, both of those are my only two evergreen content. What do I mean by evergreen? Where they continue to get views. And they're very searchable, I think is why. And most of my videos, even now, will be very popular when they come out for about a week. Some can be popular for about a month, and then they taper off. And that's how most of my videos go. So this how to get a provisional teaching license in Virginia, I actually made this video when I was thinking about going into the classroom, and I was researching how to get a provisional license. And, you know, so I'm like, I may as well tell everybody. If I type in provisional teaching license, you have to say teaching, because I notice if you type in provisional license, it'll come up with like a driver's license. So if you do provisional teaching license, and I didn't even filter with my state on it. Okay, it used to come up on the first page, but okay, there it comes up on the second page, but let's filter by videos. It's not all, and I'm gonna filter by Virginia. And I think it still comes up on the second page in all, but then if you filter by video, okay, comes up first. YouTube, and I do a search, provisional teaching license. Okay, comes up second, and the first one is like an ad. So, and then if I filter by videos, it comes up first. And I'm gonna specifically put Virginia, because that's, okay, it still comes up second. And on videos, it comes up first, and another video I did comes up third, which this was just, this video, the third one was a live stream that I did. So it's not like polished or edited together. I passed the ESL praxis the first time with the number. So now the reason I did this video is because when I was studying for the ESL praxis and I went to do a search on YouTube, I got some guy with like terrible lighting and just literally jabbering on. So there really weren't too many of them. So I thought for sure, if I do a video about this, especially if I put in the title the number, that this would do well. And it did. For a while, it was even doing way better than my provisional teaching license one. Okay, so my video does come up, but it's way down. It used to come up higher on the list. I know my video is short. I don't know why, but it comes up on the, it's way down here. So here it is. So, but it used to come up higher, I think is why it used to get more views. So now if I filter by videos, it's still, okay, it shows up a little sooner, but it's not like first. Now if I filter by shorts, the first one here is a short I made from that video. Most of the shorts that I make are from my longer form content. So praxis, and there is the number. Okay, it comes up third. I'm still filtered by video. So it comes up, and second, the short I made from that video comes up second. So let's look at all. Okay, if it's all, okay, my short shows up on the first page, and the short does link to the longer form video. When I say longer form, that video is only like less than 3 minutes. Okay, so I'm on all, and it's not really showing up. I'm already on the third page, and most people don't go past the first page. Okay, so maybe that's why if you filter by video, it does well, but maybe this is why it's not doing well as the other one. Let's go to my live stream and look at my most popular live streams. So I broke that rule. I And these videos are popular too, but I broke the rule where you're supposed to stay in a niche for a temporary period of time just in my live streams. And there's different opinions on this. I know Cindy and Evelyn, they do videos on all different types of things. And they've even told me, like, don't worry about it. Do videos about whatever you want. But a lot of the advice is to stay in a niche. So a bunch of these that have done well in recent years, I broke the rule and I started talking about a former cult I was in. So the first video where I did that is over here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. Let me know if you can. Duggar's IBL, Shiny Happy People. It was like a lot of people were talking about that online. I had watched the documentary. I'm like, I have a YouTube channel. I want to talk about it, but I don't want to create a whole new channel. So I talked about it and then ended up like interviewing a few people in the group. So this Reveal website one I interviewed. Then I did Crumpled Papers, which he has a podcast about it. And then Lisa, who was on his podcast, I also did that. So broke the rules, did a few of those. Those were so popular, as you can see. It's actually my most popular live stream is that one with Austin with Crumpled Papers, that I thought about changing my niche because those videos did so well. But here's the thing. I left that cult a long time ago. I don't really want to continue talking about it. I even tried asking for advice. Should I change my niche? And someone said, do you want to be talking about that in 10 years? And I'm like, no, because I've moved on from it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to stick to teaching. So that's what I did. I broke that rule. I could do more interviews, but I want to stick to teaching. And then as far as teaching, so my first really good video that did really well was this VIP Go-Go Kid credit score. And I was talking about the non-Chinese ESL company, and the non-Chinese ESL company was what did really well. And this was before China cut us off. So those who don't know, China cut us off from teaching their kids, but I just wanted to teach during the day. I wanted to find some during the day. And people saw that I was going to do live and do this video, and I got an insane amount of subs. I don't even remember how many. I don't think I've gotten that many subs from one video, even currently. Like I get a steady amount of subs now, but oh gosh, I don't want to say how many. It might have been like 100, and this was when my channel wasn't very big, but I got a lot of subs from that video. And then I interviewed teacher Lexi. Again, this was before the Chinese cut us off. So she really, really did a lot of videos after the Chinese government cut us off, talking about the different companies. But I had her on my channel talking about this before it was a big thing. And I actually think this video would have done even better, like just as well as this other one. But she asked me to take something off that was in it. Like she asked me to delete it, and I didn't know how to use YouTube Studio. So it took me a while to do that. So I actually had it private for a little while until I figured out how to use YouTube Studio and cut that thing out that she asked me to cut out. And then, so I actually think it would have done just as well as this other video. I love that live stream with him. Oh, you watched it. Okay. Yes, he's talking about the one with Austin. I also love how your channel is a mix of things and people will follow you because they enjoy your personality. Well, thank you, Tim. So you guys think maybe I should do more videos about that cult, because he did another season of that podcast and I thought about having him on, but I'm like, no, it's not my niche. Out of the recent live streams that are about teaching that have done pretty well is this one with Casey here, this Teach for Dodds, Dodea, DD, anyways, all the acronyms. And the reason this did well, so this didn't like, you know, knock it out of the park when it went live, but this also does pretty well in search. I'm in a few Facebook groups that are for special ed teachers or just teachers in general. And there's a few people who are like, hey, I want to travel. I want to go overseas. Does anyone know what I can do? And a few people mentioned Dodds. I'm like, hey, I have a video. Like I try not to spam my videos in those, but specifically, there were several times someone had a specific question and my video about Dodds could answer that question. So I would share it. So it had an uptick in views when I would share it. Plus it doesn't get like steady views like my other ones under videos that are, you know, showing up Google search, but it does occasionally still get views, even though it's, let's see, it's 8 months old now. So Casey, if you see this, thank you for doing that one with me. Tim says, also, Kelly, I think it depends on what you want from YouTube. If you want it to be your job, then you would want to do a niche thing and treat it like a job. But if it's fun, then who cares about the niche? Yeah, I guess, I would like to get monetized. I don't know if I believe it could ever replace my teaching job. I mean, those of you who have bigger channels, what do you think? Do you make a lot of money on YouTube? Not that you have to tell me, be specific, but do you think someone could make enough money to replace their teaching income to be able to do it? And I know, Tim, you always had, like, it wasn't your only thing. You were doing YouTube along with doing a bunch of other things. So, and the Brick Girls, like, do you do it as your main job, or do you have like a full-time job and it's just making a little extra money on the side? I know Evelyn's told me what she's made, and it's not like a lot of money. No ads to not pay. I have 23K subs and make under $100 a month, but YouTube can funnel people into your email list, courses, coaching. In the VIP kid days, ads paid me more because I had more views. That makes sense. Yeah, I know. And you're not doing as many videos now. Okay, and that makes sense. And Tim has done a lot of courses and other things to make money. I also get reacquainted with a friend from years past, and he has been watching my YouTube videos, and I had no idea until yesterday. That's so cool. I actually don't tell people in my real life about my YouTube channel. I think I've recently told my sister and a cousin of mine, but I kind of don't advertise it because I want it to be organic. I want it to be people that are interested in teaching and people that want to come on and see those type of videos. I want organic growth. I'm also a little embarrassed, honestly, by it. I realize if I get to be big and huge that this might happen, but I don't want my school division knowing about it and then they're monitoring every single little thing you say. Like, I never told anyone. Oh, which brings me to when I taught for the middle school, they found out about my YouTube channel. And I quickly, after they found out, I privated every single video that I had, every single video. Nothing made me want to do YouTube more was than when I couldn't do it. And I only worked for the middle school for half a year because I started in January and we get out end of May. So it was only a few months. And I think they found it in like February. But I wanted to do YouTube so badly when I couldn't do it. It's like when someone says you can't do this, you want to do it more. My channel started off as ESL. I noticed that, I'm going to come here, when I did a video about VIP Kid. Oh yeah, these did pretty well. For my small channel, I consider anything 100 or more like a pretty decent video. So both of these got, oh, this one got 85, but the level 8 example. But taught a VIP Kid class for no pay, that got over 100. And I think it's because, you know, people started off my channel as ESL and I've morphed into, you know, teaching in the classroom, which I don't feel like I totally changed my niche because a lot of people, you know, do both. They teach in the classroom and they teach for these online companies, or a lot of people went back to the classroom, but there are a lot of people who only did online. They've only ever done online. So those people I might kind of have missed. And then I did experiment around with like a few other topics. I did talk about like, you know, health, and I could kind of justify that because I'd be like, teachers, this is how you stay healthy. This one about Canva, my friend Casey was like, oh, I don't know how to do that on Canva. I bet if you made a tutorial, you could tell people, which I did. But again, it wasn't in my niche. It got less than 100 views. But I did do like, I was doing the 12-week year and I did some videos about that. And the reason I do these like vlogs sometimes is because usually like you're taking pictures and video, you already have the footage. Sometimes I get really busy and I don't have time to put out content. It's like, oh, I've got these. I'll talk about being a teacher going on spring break. This one here about Down syndrome, I'm going to tell you my secret about this one. So this was actually, right now I am in a master's program to get certified for SPED preschool. So this one was actually for a class. And it was one of those, well, I had to make the video for a class anyway. I may as well put it on YouTube. I already did the work. And just so you know, you're like, oh, you put that for your class, subscribe to my channel and all that. No, what I do is I edit it. And then when I get to a certain point, I make a copy of it. And my YouTube version has like the beginning, the end, and the middle, subscribe to my channel. And the one that I turn into the teacher doesn't have all of that. It didn't get a lot of views. It has 42, but I also didn't have YouTube in mind when I made it. I had my class in mind, So, hey, it's 42 views I wouldn't have gotten for a video I made anyway. And it is a little more formal. It's not me talking to the camera. It's just like, it's very formal because I turned it in for a grade basically. And there were a few videos I did for that. There was one, this one, helpful resources, that also was for a class. Let me tell you guys my secret to this one. So part of the class was like, you had to make resources for a particular student. Then you had to show the parents and videotape yourself showing the parents. Well, the parents, I did show them in real life, but they didn't want to be on camera. So I had to find someone who's the same nationality as their son, which ended up being, here's my secret to those of you who are here, my daughter's boyfriend. So if you watch that video, he just throws in stuff every once in a while. Oh, that's interesting. That's a great resource. Okay, he's not really the parent of that kid. That's my secret. You guys are getting in on my secret. But despite that, he wasn't really the parent. There's still some really good resources for special ed preschool kids. So I still stand by that video, but the person in it's not really the real dad of the student I intended. All right, so, recent videos that have done well, special ed preschool month in the life at the end of the year. I saw online actually that a lot of people who, if they're getting into for the first time being a SPED preschool teacher, like, oh, what does a typical day look like? So they want to know. And I know Teacher of 20, you do a lot of vlogs as well. And a lot of people were searching classroom setup, especially we kind of started earlier. A lot of people are starting this Tuesday school. So they kind of want to see a classroom setup. On Wednesday, I have my first week of school with student vlog coming out. And I also am doing those I quit teaching videos are super popular. Well, I didn't quit teaching, but I did quit teaching middle school. So I have that coming out as well. I actually lost power this past Friday and can't do anything online, but I could record videos and I could edit in iMovie without internet. So I was able to get that video done because I couldn't do anything else. I have that scheduled. Let's look at my shorts. Let's look at my oldest. So when I first started doing shorts, they didn't have the way now you can just take one of your old videos and make a short from the video. I would just, one and done take. So this first one, what is a provisional teaching license, is me just talking and putting it up there. And this short actually shows up as well when you search YouTube for a provisional teaching license. Then the second one, also talking about a provisional teaching license, the lighting wasn't as good on that one. It still performed pretty well, but not as well. And then starting here is where I started making shorts from existing videos. And mostly that's what I do now. Occasionally I'll go into Canva and make one. This one here, Beach Vacation, Have a Great Summer, was last summer. And for a while, this was my highest video as far as views, highest short. Let's look at my most popular shorts. Okay, so this one right here, it's IEP season and soccer season, and I was just overwhelmed. Made from Canva. So kind of success since this got 4.1K views. And I even had one comment was like, oh yeah, it's soccer season for me and I have an IEP. So it sounded like it was like a kid who could relate, but you know, obviously I was making it for teachers. All right, now look here. So Cindy and I did a live stream about, we both read a book about John D. Rockefeller, which brings me to, actually, I forgot to mention this, you guys. So I'm going to go backwards a little bit. I also did a bunch of live streams about books. I feel like I can justify that the books are in my niche because a lot of teachers love to read. Let me know if you disagree, but a lot of teachers love to read. And I only do live streams. I've never done an edited video. And I was reading a lot in my car because I'm commuting. So I was listening to a lot of audiobooks. So, you know, I started doing some live streams where I jump on and tell you what I was reading. So Cindy and I both decided to read together, or, you know, she was reading while she was commuting. I was reading while I was commuting. But at the same time, we were reading a book about John D. Rockefeller by Ron Chernow. Yes, the same Ron Chernow that wrote the Hamilton book that the play was made after. What I will do is I will, you know, with these hour-long live streams, you've got a lot of shorts you can make. I'll start making shorts, and if they don't do well, I'll stop. So I don't know why, but this interview with Diane Manzer, she was amazing. The book was really good. It was an excellent interview. Like, our conversation flowed, but I don't know why that one didn't do too well. But here it is. The one with Evelyn has 103 views. But the shorts from that are doing really, really well. The future of my channel. Well, I think I'm going to continue to do more videos about teaching. I do want to keep that as my niche. I like interviewing people because you can do it live. Live streams are easier. I would say no editing, but I do edit a little in YouTube Studio, but very little editing. And you can get around later to editing it. I will still try to do some edited videos. My personal life this upcoming year is going to be crazy. Yes, we are lifelong learners. Yep. So I've got one more year of this master's program. So I'm always taking a class. My son's a senior. So he is still very active in soccer. Spring is going to be nuts because he does high school and travel soccer, and he's graduating. So in a year from now, you guys, I'm going to be an empty nester and I'm going to be done with the master's program. So just if I don't have time to make videos for this YouTube channel, then at least in a year, I'm not going to quit. I love doing YouTube. I think that's why I've kept at it for so long, despite not really getting monetized. I actually enjoy it. I consider it a hobby. You know, a lot of us have hobbies. At my analytics here, this says about 32 per month. That's about 1 per day. So if I keep with that trajectory, I'm going to get 1,000 subscribers in about 6 months. But here's the thing, my watch time, 603. I'm not even a quarter of the way to the watch time, which you need 4,000 to get monetized. If you have 3,000, you can get like some, you don't get YouTube AdSense, but you can get like some monetization features, like you can have a membership or something. So I'm not even close. I'm going to have to make a lot of YouTube videos to get that. And this is over a year. So this is not the lifetime of my videos. So you got to like keep making videos to get the watch time. So with my busy upcoming year, I'm not sure if with watch time it's going to happen. But again, a year from now, my life is, I'm going to have so much more free time I didn't have. So if worse comes to worse in a year, I'm going to totally revive this channel and put out more edited videos. I made a video visiting my mother-in-law and she died a few months later. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. But glad that you have that memory. Yeah, that is really good. I enjoy editing, but it's so time consuming. Yeah, I hate the editing, which people are like, wait, you come from a video background. But again, I worked on live TV, which is why I love live streams. I love just, you do it and then it's over. I'm used to live TV. You do the production, it's over. If you make a mistake in live TV, they do go back and edit for the rear. I can go and edit in YouTube Studio, but for the most part, it's not much editing. And I love the live interaction that I'm getting with you guys. I used to work on a live call-in show. Yeah. But Brit girls, I did hear from several different places that the form of editing where you're editing really fast paced, because what used to be in style is like every couple of seconds you need to be like changing the scenery so that you're keeping your audience engaged. I hear that that is starting to go out of style, and people, you know, because they can just go to TV if they want a nicely edited TV channel or station or show or movie, you know what I mean? But on YouTube, people are coming for the interaction. So I heard that less editing is now coming more in style. I hope so. That would save so much time. Yes. So in other words, you don't have to stop editing, just not that fast-paced editing that takes forever. So yes. All right, well, thanks to those of you who came to this live stream, and thanks to those who will watch later. And let me know how your YouTube channel is going. And yeah, bye guys. Have a good rest of your Labor Day weekend. See ya.